Hi guys and welcome to OG Cars. In today's video you join us in the garage because it's wet and windy and absolutely horrible outside. We've got the Citroen Saxo here and we're going to be doing what's definitely the worst clutch cable replacement I've ever had to do on a car. Now admittedly I have already replaced the clutch cable, but I actually wanted to do a quick video to talk you through how to do it, because I was looking at a few little guides online because apparently this is quite a difficult job and a lot of people either have a really easy time just plopping it straight in, or a lot of people have like hours and hours of torture. And I had hours and hours of torture, so I've decided that I would just talk you through how I did it so that maybe someone else doing it in the future will be able to do it a similar way. I don't know, people have their own ways of doing things. This is how I did it, so let's get to it. Just a quick backstory as well. G's driving to a customer for work and she's driven like almost an hour there, and then just as she's pulling up, basically a couple of roads before, she hears a snapping / pinging sound, and in Citroen's infinite wisdom, this is what they have. The clutch cable, this is the clutch pedal end. There's a plastic join on the end of the metal cable, and there's literally just like the plastic ends around there and hooks around a pivot on the clutch pedal just there. And yeah, the plastic just goes bye. So we start by getting the car in here, popping the bonnet, and on the clutch end itself, so the gearbox end, you've got this, so there's like an adjustment stud on the end of the cable. You want to undo the two nuts on there, and then there's a series of basically like a metal washer and some plastic washers that hold it all to the gearbox. So you just want to undo everything from the arm and pull it out from the back of the gearbox end then. And then you've literally just got, this is the easy bit, you've got two little green sort of clip-in points where they clip to the bulkhead on the car. So you pull those off, and then your problem is actually on this end, the pedal end. That's the area that everyone struggles with. So to start with, tie a little bit of wire to the end of here, so that basically the end of the plastic, so that you can pull it through. So I just do some electrical wire that I had left over from a wiring loom, fairly long, and I tied it on the inside of the car. And then what I did is literally on this one, you've just got this little rubber / plastic piece that clips into the end on the bulkhead side. Now in Citroen's infinite wisdom, you have the steering rack literally right in front of the bulkhead, so you can't really get in there. So you can grab the cable from down the end like that, so you're a fair distance away from the actual clip. Obviously you can just pull it out like that and it pulls out the bottom, you pull the wire through, great. So you've pulled out the cable, the old cable's done with, you untie the wire and you've got a wire dangling through from the pedal end, great. The old pedal clutch cable, bin, perfect. New clutch cable, getting it in, not quite as easy. So what I did is I tied the wire around literally the very end piece, the bit that snapped off on that cable, so I can't show you anymore. But yeah, you tie it around there and you can pull it through. Basically you sort of half route it where it should be, and then it's at a very jaunty angle. So I'm there pulling on the wire inside the car, getting the plastic to come through. Now that took a little bit of persuasion, but it did actually come through. So I got the plastic through. So I thought, right, I'll route the rest of it. So I put the two bulkhead clips in and I put the pedal arm end sort of half in, but I didn't adjust anything up yet. I didn't put everything together. I just put it where it needs to be. And then what I'm trying to do is get, and I'll show you, cut this bit out. I'm trying to get this bit through. Now on the new one, it's actually got like a slightly larger metal clip which goes through, but it's the same design, it all fits. It's just a slightly superseded version. But trying to get this particular point into the hole in between the bulkhead and the steering rack blind is very, very difficult. I spent a very long time trying to just, I can't even say feel my way through it, because I can grab the cable here and I can angle it like this and that and this and that, but I can't get higher up to actually move the metal end into the hole. Now, the way I actually did it, because I got so frustrated, but because obviously once the wire's through with that plastic piece, the wire's useless for actually doing this particular part, which is a bit was actually difficult, in my opinion anyway. I have a bore scope. I don't think obviously everyone has one, but if you've got something similar, then it would certainly help with this particular job. I've heard some people say that you can jack up the car, look up underneath and sort of look in between the steering rack and the bulkhead, but obviously the engine's there and it's quite hard to get a direct view in. So I thought a bore scope was easier for me anyway, because I had it. But obviously if you need to, then that particular idea may work for you anyway. You just got to jack the car up, possibly get the wheel off just so you can properly see in there. But I used the borescope, and there's a picture that I will attach now which shows the hole and obviously the cable end trying to go in it, and it is an absolute nightmare. And even with the borescope in there, because it's right next to the cable and I'm still trying to like push the cable in at different angles, it kept pushing the borescope out of the way and I couldn't see what I was doing still. So I had to try and get the borescope at a certain angle where I wasn't touching it, and then I was trying to move the cable. But as I say, the hardest bit is trying to move the top bit sort of like separate from the bottom, because you just can't really do it. But in the end, I managed to just about get it started, and then when I put the nuts on the washers on the gearbox arm end, I pressed the clutch cable and I heard just where the metal clip had just gone just into the hole. And honestly, it was the most satisfying sound I've ever heard in my life, and I was very happy that it finally went in. So obviously that was that side done, the bulkhead clips are already done. All I had to do then was just adjust the arm end just that the clutch pedal height was correct. And then what I did is I just got G to test drive it, and everything was good. So that was the clutch cable replacement successfully done. So in long story short, the cable's really easy to do apart from the pedal end, which is an absolute nightmare. Citroen decided to use a plastic end, which always breaks, and then because it's like a metal end on the pedal as well, so metal against plastic, eventually it breaks. So it's just a nightmare trying to route it through, basically. Hopefully this video has given you a bit of insight, and if you are actually doing one of these, hopefully it gives you a bit of help. But if you've got any questions, pop it in the comments, and I'll probably direct you to another forum, because I read about 76 of them on the night I did it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video, guys, and yeah, like, comment and subscribe, and you'll see much more of the Saxo soon. See you in the next one.